Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti. Together we'll chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verses 26 to 34.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya praham bhaktyupahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha yat karoshi yadashnasi yat juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam shubha phalairevam mokshyase karma bandhanaihi sannyasa yoga yuktatma vimukto mamupaishyasi samoham sarvabhuteshu na me dveshyosti na priyaha ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayi te teshu chapyaham api chet suduracharaha bhajate mamananyabhak sadhureva samantavyaha samyak vyavasito hi saha kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvachantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi na me bhaktah pranashyati mam hi parthavyapashritya yepi syuh papayonayah striyo vaishyastatha shudraha tepi yanti param gatim kim punar brahmanah punyaha bhakta rajashyastatha anityamasukham lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam manmana bhava madbhaktaha madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam atmanam matparayanaha.
So we have been studying about, firstly, that there is no loss on the spiritual path. There is no way you can lose. Firstly, your desires are down, so your affectation by the world is much lesser. There is no way the world can create ripples in us if there are no desires. There is no way. Remember that story about Buddha? Buddha was criticized and condemned for nothing. He's walking on the road, somebody comes up to him and he starts just yelling at him. So Buddha just listens to him. He wants to say something, might as well listen. Then when the fellow has finished, He continues on his journey. And the students are so upset and so angry that their teacher has been unnecessarily condemned, criticized, screamed at on the street. It's really it's unnerving for a student when that happens to their teacher. So that night in satsang, they asked him, "How could you put up with that? And forget you putting up. Why didn't you tell us? We'd have dealt with him. We don't need. I mean, you don't have to say anything. You just have to look at us and I'll deal with him." So why didn't you just sort of indicate something? We would have done it. And then Buddha says those famous words: if someone gives you a gift and you don't receive it, whose is it? Somebody gave me a gift of all these negative words. I didn't want it. I said, no, thank you. The words stay with them. Mujhe na lena, na dena usse. Now, this seems fascinating to us. How is that possible? Somebody comes and insults us and we just say, no, thank you, and move on our journey. How did that happen? What is it that Buddha has that we don't have? That he can take an insult and it means nothing to him. And we hear an insult and our blood boils. What is the difference? The only difference is he has no desire for other people's validation or reputation. Praise. Doesn't want it. He has no desire for it. He doesn't know what to do with it when you give it to him. There is no such desire. Now, when you have no such desire, how can that criticism or that praise matter? You continue like a lotus leaf in water. Padma patra ivambasa. Like a Padma patra iva. Iva means like a Padma patra, like the lotus leaf ambasa in the water. Like a lotus leaf in water. Surrounded by kichat, maybe. Surrounded by maybe mud, slime, definitely water, wetness. But the leaf is ever true. How can a Rama leave his kingdom, the kingdom of Ayodhya, walk out with a smile on his face? It's making no difference in his life. He does not want that kingdom. He does not want not having the kingdom. He does not want it. He does not want it. When we have no desire, one way or the other, those happenings, those events cannot affect us in any way. So the first thing that happens, or well, I can't say the first thing, the first point, let's say, that with your spiritual sadhana, desires reduce. As desires reduce, affectation reduces. That means that inner joy, that inner cheer just comes bubbling forth. You're not making an attempt to be happy, you just are happy. Just delighted with everything around you. It's the sages often compared to a child. A child is bubbling with laughter, very happy with the smallest of things. Even if they find something on the street, they are very happy with it. Sage is delighted, cheerful, happy with life, because no desires. So as you progress on the spiritual path, your desires are reducing. So happiness has to come bubbling forth from you. Number one. Number two, since your desires are reducing, your ability to see things for what they are is extremely enhanced. You can just see something for exactly what it is. It's called clarity of thought. With clarity of thought, what can you not achieve in this world? Shipram hi manushe loke, in the third chapter, he says, fourth chapter. Shipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Quickly, indeed quickly, like a snap, he says. You will get success. Manushe loke, in this Manushe loke. So your internal quality of life is wonderful because you have no desire, so you're just delighted with everything. Your externals are wonderful because you have so much clarity of thought that you can set things right in your environment almost effortlessly. What have you to lose in this path? Why would all humans not know about this path and make their life glorious? It's a total mystery. But he says, no devotee of mine ever perishes. Nobody on the path to self-realization. Nobody on the path towards self for growth and improvement. Name bhakta pranashyati. My devotee can never be destroyed. How would it be possible? He has the internal absence of desire. He has clarity of thought to handle whatever life has to show him. What's to lose? And if you feel that, oh my God, this is so wonderful, but I am not good enough for it. He says, not to worry. Every human being is capable of doing this for himself. However, if you are ahead on the journey, such as we who have come to the class, who are interested, we have taken that first step, we have done that. That means already we have the vasana, we already have the interest. That's superb, right? Because we're already in the class. So every human being can do it. Every human being means what? The Rakshasas can also do it. Agitated people can do it, attached people can do it, terrible people can do it, every human being can do it. But we who have actually attempted it, how much easier will it be for us? Because we have already got the basic vasana, the basic interest. Now to let it go would be so. It will be like Sisyphus. There's this in Greek mythology, there is Sisyphus who is condemned to hell. And what is that horrible hell that he has? He has to push a stone up the hill. He has to push it all his effort. And having reached the top, the stone rolls down. This is hell. This is what is material life. Imagine all that work you put in, and then it's gone. Absolutely gone. Before you know it, it's not there anymore. Think of all this, even now in COVID and all. It's heartbreaking, no? So many people must have set up businesses or whatever they set up. So much hope and aim and longing for that thing. And then COVID hits. And these are human tragedies taking place all around us. People who have lost so much, we have been blessed that our lives have continued more or less the same. But think of all the people who have lost whatever they've lost. Isn't that hell? This is the hell of Sisyphus. With all that effort, he pushed it up the hill. And almost for no fault of yours, the stone just rolls down again, back to zero. This is a human tragedy. What they're trying to tell us is this tragedy is not necessary. COVID can hit us, so many things can hit us, but we need not be tragic figures. If there are tragic figures, let us help them. It's not to, sort of say, oh my God, these people are so horrible. It's not like that. It could happen to us any day. If we lose something that we are attached to, it will break our hearts. That recognition is a philosophical understanding. So if somebody else has lost something dear to them, then our hearts reach out to them. Because they're but for the grace of God. So, in another man's fate, I weep my own. I have those attachments. I have those desires. I have not realized the self, just as they have not. They were just unfortunate that this hit them. We were fortunate that it hasn't hit us. But the fact of the matter is, anything that we have a desire for, anything that we have an attachment to, can any day, like that stone of Sisyphus, just roll down. And then all that effort we have put in will come to naught. So one description he gives in chapter 2 of the path is, this is the path where there's no loss of effort. It doesn't mean that you don't do anything in life. It means while you're doing whatever you're doing, please don't let go of this. This is your one anchor. It's your stability. It is your humanness. If you let this go and you get everything else, it will come for nothing. If you keep this going and you get everything, it will be a delight. If you lose everything, it won't be such a horrible tragedy. In other words, you won't want to kill yourself because everything. Pain will be there, but you won't want to kill yourself for it. So there is no loss in this journey. There is no reason for us not to do it. Still, if we choose not to do it, then Navaram Barose says every human being can do it. Those who have got some basic interests, such as we have, for us it's going to be much easier. And for those of us who say, no, I am so busy doing something in the world, I cannot do this. Oh, I have this problem and I have that problem, and I'm busy with my work, I'm busy with my children, I'm busy with my in-laws, I'm busy with, I don't know, whatever in the world he says. Whatever we believe we cannot do it for. What are we now? We can't attend class because I'm busy with something. I can't study because I'm busy with something. I can't do my exercises because I'm busy with something. I can't eat the right food because I'm busy with something. If you make these stupid statements, stupidity leads to its consequences. Can't say I'm too busy, right? Some things have to be done, whether you like it or not. I'm too busy to brush my teeth. If you say, in a few years, you'll have no teeth to brush. So don't wait till the teeth have all fallen off. Understand what needs to be done today. This is the pity of it, To understand the importance of the intellect, you need an intellect. If you don't have an intellect, you don't understand its importance. A loop is formed. What can you do? So if you understand intellect, you understand prevention is better than cure. You want to prevent problems or you want to cure problems? You're living a good life if you have managed to prevent problems, not keep curing them every time. Every day a new problem will come up. How many are you going to cure? Prevention. What is prevention? Right action today. With reference to your body, right action. With reference to your mind and intellect, please learn it. And with reference to you as a human, if you give that up, imagine you're giving up the very base of life. And what can you get on top, which will make sense when the foundation only doesn't? Building a massive building, but the foundation is not secure. What's going to happen to that building? So he says, very interestingly to us, everybody can do it. You have a better chance of doing it. And if you don't do it, then what you have done in exchange of doing this is got yourself anityam, asukham. Because when you get the world instead of getting God, remember, nobody says don't get the world. This is where a lot of spiritual miscomprehension or misunderstanding takes place. Is anyone saying don't get anything in the world, like be unhealthy and be poor and be, I don't know, live in a messy house or something like that? Nobody says that. If you do all these stupid things, that means you don't have an intellect. So make sure your body is fine, make sure your mind is fine, make sure your intellect is fine. You have to do that. It's part of your life. But the human anger is not to be replaced by these things. By human anger means greater than the body mind intellect. You as a human, you have access to it. If you choose to give up the self for the body mind intellect, if you choose to give up your spiritual path for a material path, remember, give it up for it. I hope this is extremely clear to everybody. Okay? If your house is messy, I suggest you first clean the house. Don't tell us, oh my God, I'm a big spiritual person. Don't talk like that. You don't give up the house for spirituality, and you don't need to give up spirituality for the house. All right? Everything goes together. We are balanced human beings. We are not just like one thing. So house is neat and clean. Finances are well organized. You know, even women who are financially dependent on your husbands, do you know in your head, are you clear about how the financial structure of the household is going? Because you need to know that. How can you not know that? One day you may have to handle the structure, and you'll be left high and dry. You don't know what to do. Like that, many things about writing a will, for instance. Have you written your will? Shouldn't your will have been written yesterday? Like, what is it we can do which prevents problem instead of solving problem? For that, we need an intellect. If we do the right diet and right exercise, hopefully we'll prevent problems. And if problems do come to us, we'll handle them better. Think of it like, you looked after your health, you did the right exercises, you had the right diet, you did everything, and then you got hit by a car. So what was the use of my doing all this? I got into this accident. But think about it. Suppose you did get in an accident. God forbid, of course. Suppose you did, and you hadn't looked after your health. You had diabetes, you had cholesterol, you had blood pressure, you had all this, and now you met with an accident. Think of how much worse it will get. But if you had been looking after your health earlier and you met with an accident, think that you are actually in the best possible condition you could have been. Think of Swamiji at 94, he's had to undergo a heart surgery at 94. And you all saw his picture, right? When the doctor was so excited to see him. You saw how he looks at 94 after a heart surgery? There's something wrong with the valve. His heart is completely all right, but there's just some leakage in the valve. There's nothing you can do about that. All that he has been disciplined was not able to prevent that. But because he has no blood pressure, no cholesterol, no lifestyle ailments, he's fit, he's not obese, think of how much easier. Otherwise, at 94, most doctors won't even operate. They'll say it's not worth the risk you're taking. So if you have done your part, whatever life throws at you, you'll be better off. That's called prevention of problems. And that's why you study this knowledge, so that you prevent emotional, intellectual, and spiritual problems. And if you choose to ignore this, what you will get instead is
joyless and transient.
Yeah, you'll get the problems. It's quite simple. That's what he's saying. Joyless and transient. You gave up the important for the unimportant, then what you got was the unimportant. Unimportant means what? Something that doesn't last. But you chose that. Please remember it. You chose it. You chose to give up something useful for something not useful. Then you have something which is not useful. is the ultimate taking responsibility for your own life. Isn't it? You got something not useful. So did you get something joyful? It was not useful, but did it give you a lot of joy? Here's where we find it difficult to really understand. I think up to here, you're clear, right? You chose to give up spiritual things, prevention of problems, being firm and based in life properly, getting your foundations right. You chose to give it up for something futile, useless. This thing is futile and useless because it's transient. Up to this point is clear, right? Yes, Kanika, joyless and transient. But first we're doing transient. Transient means impermanent. You chose to give up a permanent thing for an impermanent thing. So impermanent by its nature means it's not permanent, it's going. So it went. Clear, right? Up to this point, clear? Any problems up to this point? My God, I forgot to check whether anyone was new today. Is anyone new today? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Jankiri Salil is new.
Salil, where are you, Salil? Is it new Salil or old Salil? Where is Salil? Salil. Salil, are you new? Ah, here I can see Salil now. Salil, are you now? Yeah, yeah. Are you new? You're muted, so I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So I was unaware that you had this common group, and I just realized it yesterday, and then Bharatji sent me the link to join this.
So you're new today.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. Is this your first Bhagavad Gita class or your first class with us?
I've read bits and pieces of Bhagavad Gita, but yeah, the first class with you. Yeah.
Okay, great. I hope everything is clear so far.
Yeah, I just had a question. I mean, like they say that things are destined to happen the way they are, including ill health or sickness. So how does destiny play a role in all this?
Salil, that is not really our topic today, but just very briefly, without going deeply into it, destiny is the effect of what you've done in the past. All right. So in the past, suppose you have created debts. You have a lot of debt. You have like 1 million in debt. So your today's stance is I have 1 million in debt. But if you do today correctly, if you function correctly today, you will be able to wipe out that whole debt. So destiny should not be considered. Today's action should be considered. Destiny is only the effect, and the effect will change as you do different things.
So I mean, the intellect we have today, is it also dependent upon our past karmas? I mean, if somebody has a low intellect, and then how does he overcome that obstacle then?
Yes, our intellect that we have today is the result of what we've done in the past. To improve the intellect, we work on it today, and then then it will keep improving to the extent we have improved it. And we improve it by thinking. So it should be systematic thinking. Every morning, get up in the morning, study Vedanta, study the Gita. Study it means 20% reading, 80% thinking. So as you keep thinking about these ideas, you start cogitating upon it, reflecting upon it. The intellect's horizons grow. You start seeing things that you were not seeing before. So you just do that daily, and doing that daily is part of preventive action that we were talking about. Being on the spiritual path means you are actually taking all this preventive action on a daily basis, so that when a problem does strike you, you know that time you're alone. The problem has struck you. Now, sometimes you have time to take advice, sometimes you don't have time to take advice. Sometimes you have to react immediately, sometimes you may have time. But at least your intellect will tell you, do I need to do it quickly? Do I need to take advice? Do I need to react right now? But for that, the intellect has to be grown. So which we are doing from today onwards. Today is the first day of the rest of our lives. So we're doing it today onwards.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Janki ji. Thank you.
So anyone has any? Ayavu. How to continue to live present life, keeping in background the world is anityam always. As we do remember anityam, will it life be dry one? Actually, life will become more fun if you remember it as anityam. Anityam means impermanent, right? That's all it means. It means it's not permanent. Your life has to become more fun. When you spend time, are you married? Ayavu, where are you? I've seen your name. I don't think I've seen you. Where are you? Can you put on your video? It's okay if for whatever reason you can't. Chennai. Okay, fine. Yeah, that's fine. Don't have to worry about it. So it's just that for the last couple of years, I have not met people I'm talking to. So I like to at least see their faces. This is a new experience, right, in our life. And I hope now most of you will come for the retreat so that at least we will get to see. First time in my life, class students, I don't know. I used to know everybody. I knew everything about everybody at one point, and now I don't even know what they look like. So I hope to see you at the retreat when January. But anyway, coming back. So if you understand life is anityam, you will enjoy it a lot more, because you know that this moment is it, right? You don't live this moment, it is gone. For instance, if you knew that this class was anityam, would you not concentrate more? Suppose this was your last class. But the fact of the matter is, it could be. From next time onwards, maybe there'd be no class. Who knows? It is anityam. If you realize when you're speaking to somebody that this may be my last conversation with this person. If you realize when you're eating a gulab jamun, this may be the last gulab jamun I'm eating. If you're able to remember, they say, na, keep Yamraj as your witness. Means what? Keep the fact. And then your whole life, it's like you become more present because you know it is impermanent. You know that we don't know how much this is going to last. So you become more conscious, more aware, more in the present. Imagine if you were meeting your friend and you really knew that this was impermanent. How would you treat that friend? How would you treat everybody? So the reason we take things for granted, the reason we take our family, our friends, our furniture, our food for granted is because you do not understand that they are anityam. Then you don't get it. When you get it, you live a more conscious life. Like even in class, suppose this is your last class. Suppose you know that. For all I know, I may never be able to hear a class again in my life. Because remember, the knowledge is permanent. The teacher is not. Anyone can drop dead any second, right? So if you know that, what would be your attitude towards them? So much more conscious, so much more present, so much more alive to the occasion, whatever the occasion is. So it is not a dry life. It is a dry life nowadays because we don't remember it. We've taken everything for granted. Sit in your house on your sofa, knowing that this sofa will not be with you forever. Eat your meal, knowing that this meal will not be there with me forever. Know it because of it. Now that doesn't mean you look at everybody and say, "Oh my God, he's still alive." You don't do like that. You just take it. You understand things are impermanent, and so you approach them with the dignity, the grace that they deserve. Are you okay? Okay, Kanika. You can come after your hearing if you like. Lost a very dear friend recently and I'm feeling terrible. I could not complete a conversation we were having because I was preoccupied. So we know that at any time. Okay, Namita. So now coming back to what we were discussing. Everything in this world is anityam. That is clear to everybody, right? Everything is impermanent. And we will treat it with grace, with respect, with dignity, whether it is your car, whether it is your sofa, whether it is your spouse. We treat it with that dignity, that concentration. How many times you talk to your spouse and you are fully available? Just available. Or talk to a friend and you're fully available. No, while I'm talking, even doing our work and being fully available. Even in class, somebody wants to be on the telephone, somebody wants to eat something. That's why in the class we've told you multiple times. In fact, the disadvantage of the virtual world, you can switch off your video and do whatever you like, and nobody's going to know. But the fact is that it would be better if you kept your video on because you're then forced to be in the present. Yeah? No doing anything else while this is on. There's only one thing in your life at any given moment. When it's class, it is class. When it is being with spouse, then it is being with spouse. Nobody else exists. If you're talking to your staff, then it is only talking to your staff. Nobody else exists. Can you imagine the power of a life like that, where you are just fully wherever you are? What a blissful life it will be. Even if you are in sorrow, you are fully in sorrow. Fully there. And the mind will be calm. So the world is anityam is clear, I think, to everybody. Nobody believes that this world is nityam when they start thinking about it. The bigger problem for us to understand is not that the world is impermanent. The bigger problem for us to understand is that the world is joyless. That is very difficult to understand. There is no joy available in this world. Very difficult. And it's difficult to understand because we feel, what are you saying? Because I have enjoyed. Maybe I've had sorrow in this world, but I've also enjoyed the world. We went that day to Copper Chimney and we had such a nice time. We went to, I don't know, whatever, Andaman, and we had such a good time. And I had, I don't know, a wonderful shower or a bubble bath, whatever I enjoyed. Let me tell you a real life incident, okay? For you to consider about this whole business about how the world gives us happiness. It's a stupid example, but seems like a great thing for us to think about all this. I am very fond of water. I love every part of water, even the tumult on the water I love. So we are all gone for a retreat. Not retreat, I don't know what we went. Remember, you all were, I don't know, many of you were there. We went off to, where did we go? Alibag or somewhere. We all had gone. And it was one of those rare trips that Mr. Santok also came with us. Now, he hates water. And I love water. To me, going on a cruise is great. Going on a cruise is what torture. Now, you know, to go to Alibag, you take the boat. And because Pranesh, you remember Pranesh? Pranesh, because Farokh just hits the water, organized for him a speedboat, while the rest of us went on the nice catamaran. And it took hours and hours to reach them, but for him, it was a quick journey. He had a speedboat at that time. So he organized and they went the other side. And on the way back, he decided to be ambitious and let other people enjoy the speedboat. So he came back by the catamaran. It was sort of tumultuous sea, sort of, because remember we're in the Bay of Bengal, right? I mean, we're in the bay. Mumbai is in the bay for all of those who are not from here. How choppy can the water get between Mumbai and Manwa? I mean, how much? Hardly anything. So we were having a great time. What boat is going on? We were like, wow, what fun. Now I looked over at Farokh and he was like, for all of you who were there, it was like on the verge of throwing up. He had gone all red, he was all red when anything happened. And he was like miserable and he was probably saying, no, I shouldn't go with these idiots. They're always going to stupid places. I don't want to go. I know what he was thinking. He had a miserable trip. And the rest of us, those of us who love water, were having a glorious trip. Now think about that. It is the same sea. It is the same catamaran. It is the same journey. It is the same time. For some of us, we were like, wow, this is life. And for some of us, it was the worst experience ever. Now, what do you understand from that? Was that a joyful experience? Was that a miserable experience? Or was it just an experience? It was neither joyful, like we enjoyed it. It was neither miserable, like he tested it. Just watching him being so miserable, so uncomfortable. Isn't it something to think about? Now, will you call it a joyful world? The fact of the matter is, there is no joy there and there is no sorrow there. It has not got anything to do with the object. It has got entirely to do with the subject. When you desire something and your desire is fulfilled, you are happy. If you desire something and you don't get it, you are unhappy. Like Farokh wanted to be on land, but he didn't get it. So he was unhappy. We wanted to be on water and we got it and we were happy. That same thing being on the water for some is thrilling, for some is disaster. Think of that roller coaster. Some people go on the roller coaster and they want more and more thrills, more and more thrills. Think of Michael Jackson. Some people are crazy about it. Think of Bhimsen Joshi, a smaller section, crazy about that. Those who are listening to Bhimsen Joshi are not listening to Justin Bieber. Those listening to Justin Bieber are not listening to Bhimsen Joshi. Which of them is joy? So while you are experiencing the joy of this world, while you are experiencing the sorrow of this world, know for sure that it does not lie there. It simply does not lie. Tough, no?
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you say that if you have to be happy, then it is to be happy now, otherwise you will never be happy. So how do you correlate this to this concept?
It's the same concept. There's no correlation necessary. It's the same thing. If you are thinking that I'm going to get something in the future and then be happy, you're wrong. So either you know right now how to be happy, you have the skill, the technique, the ability to do that, or you can get any amount of things in this world and you won't be. It's the same concept. In fact, as you study philosophy, you'll realize there isn't very much to it. It's all basically the same thing repeated in 100 different ways until it gets through your thick head. You know, there's such thick bone over there for all of us. Their skulls are so hard, no? Kuch andar hi nahi jata. So they tell you with so many different ways. So many different ways, but that's really the same thing. It's all the same thing. As long as the desire is there is happiness and sorrow. When there is no desire, there is no happiness, no sorrow. How simple is that?
Thank you.
Hari Om Janki ji.
Hari Om Ganesh, just 1 second. There's some stuff written here. I'll just come back to you. Kanika, or some could be experiencing the joy of Bieber and Bhimsenji. Yes, they could be. If they are both desires, then they'll do that. But they, whatever your particular combination is. Some people want to listen to Bieber and Bhimsen at the same time. Make all the racket in the world. It doesn't matter. But the thing is, for the person who wants that is enjoyable. Some people, masochists, they enjoy hurting themselves. For them, that is enjoyment. I mean, like, why would you want to pain yourself? Until you realize that probably everybody does that. They just hurt themselves over and over again. Think of it. If there was some bad experience in your life, do you not go on and on and on, almost reveling in it? People don't want to give up their sorrow any more than they want to give up their joy. Feeling quite happy to be unhappy. So, yes, so whatever is the desire, fulfill it, and that is happiness. You know, the strange thing is, in Mumbai, Kanika, you're in Mumbai, right? So in Mumbai, everybody here has this great glamour about South Mumbai. Just as I'm sure. I mean, in every other city, maybe in Hyderabad, what Banjara Hills, and what's the other place? I forgot next to it. So it's a glamour in being there. And in Delhi, maybe in GK or Ball Flames or something. It's a glamour. People will actually, and Mumbai is the worst because Mumbai is glamour without anything with it. You know, and like at least if you live in golf links in Delhi, there is some nice house and nice things to look at, or in Banjara Hills, then, you know, at least you have a nice bungalow to live in, something. Mumbai is not like that. South Mumbai is glamorous. And the rooms are like a matchbox. What is so glamorous about it is just not clear, but it is very glamorous to be in South Mumbai. So there are these people who are living in extremely miserable conditions, physical as well as mental, continuing to live over there, being miserable living over there, but being very happy to say, I live in South Mumbai. What kind of lunacy is this? As long as I can say I'm living in South Mumbai, I'm happy. If I have to say I'm living in Kandivali, I'm going to be miserable. And for that pleasure of telling some stranger that you're living in South Mumbai, you're willing to sacrifice your entire beard. And yet, that is the choice some people make. So, as long as your desire is being fulfilled, you are happy. If it is not, you're unhappy. Nothing to do with the object. Bharat. Can we say that the joy a person derives from a contact is directly proportional to the strength of the desire that the person is coming with? Yes. And no. The joy that a person derives from a contact is directly proportional to the strength. Yes. Now you have to understand this carefully. I don't know whether I'm just confusing the issue. Yes, the answer is yes. The joy content that you can get from any object. Now listen to this carefully. The joy content that you can get from any object is directly proportional to your desire. That would be the right way of saying it, which is different from what you have just said. I'm going to repeat it. The joy content that you can get from an object is directly proportional to the desire. That means if I desire a mango, I'm just arbitrarily giving it as 50. Just fixing a number. My desire for a mango is 50. The joy that I am capable of getting from it is 50. Okay. If my desire is 50, the joy I'm capable of getting from it is 50. Please know that this is different from the joy that I do get out of it. 50, it maxes out. You won't get more than 50. But that you will get 50 is not a given. Am I just complicating it unnecessarily for you? Bharat, where are you? I can't see you.
Yes, little bit.
Okay. All right. So as much as your desire is, you can get only that much from it. So you have a desire of 50. Then you can enjoy the mango only till 50. So far, so good.
Yes.
But that you will definitely enjoy till 50 is not a given. For instance, you have a deep desire for, let us say, your parents. Okay? You want to be with your parents. And your desire for being with your parents is, let us say, 100. I didn't say spouse, Bharat, for obvious reasons. I had to find something else here. So your desire to be with your parents is 100. That means that every time you contact your parents, you should be getting 100. But what you get is 2 or 3. Because to get that 100 also, you will have to use your head. Otherwise, you can't just get the joy of the desire.
Okay, so are we talking about eye contact here?
Yeah, I mean, if you get neutralized to your desire is still there, but no joy is there.
Okay, got it.
So can we say that the joy a person derives from a contact is directly proportional to the strength of the desire the person has? You have to answer that question with no, except that what you're saying is right. Like you can get only that much from it as your desires. But the answer to this, if I answered it technically, I would have to say no. Can we say that the joy a person derives from a contact is directly proportional to the strength of the desire? No. the strength of the desire merely maxes out how much you can enjoy. Not that it doesn't give you the capacity to enjoy it directly, because you can have a very strong desire and be totally neutralized. Like people have to their houses. So if you don't understand, then you have a desire for your house. So what is the joy content you got from your house when you first entered it? And what is the joy content it is giving now? The desire is the same, but the joy content has fallen. I hope that's clear. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, Janki, the house
Yes.
example really did it.
Okay.
Hari Om Janki, can I ask?
I'll come to. Okay, one second. Have I finished everyone who asked before you? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you for this concept, Janki. Now, a person like Swamiji, who's at the sattvic level, how does he enjoy? I'm using the word very carefully of enjoy. How does he go through life? I'm sure he would have few desire, not as much as us. So how does he look into this, having known all of this in detail?
How does he look means what? He will have the same. Everybody who lives in this world will follow the same basic laws of causation. Desire, agitation. No desire, no agitation. So to the extent he has a desire, if he has a desire, to that extent, agitated. No desire, no agitation, capacity to deal with whatever the situation is.
Yes, I understood that. But how does a sattvic person look into this? Because we have so many impulses.
What do you mean? How does the sattvic person look into this? Look into what?
Because right, if you have so many impulses, travel, sport, do this, watch a movie. So if we start doing all of this, life is not going to be good, right? So how does a sattvic person plan it? Or maybe I'm not phrasing the question well.
No, I think I get what you mean. We have don't forget about sattvic. Say at the moment we have a million desires. How do we handle our life when we have so many desires pounding at us? I think that's your question.
Yes.
Okay. So what you do is you decide which are your biggest desires. You decide, for instance, I want maybe a spouse, maybe a house, maybe health, whatever your biggest desires are, travel, sport, whatever according to your biggest desires are. So make your list. Okay. And that becomes your swadharma. And if small things are there, you write that down. Now, put all of this stuff together and in that have a higher idea.
Okay.
Once you have the higher ideas, all these multiple things that you wish to do will all get an umbrella direction. They will all take you towards that idea. Okay, since you mentioned Swamiji, let's take his case. So what does Swamiji like to do? I'm just assuming, I'm not making comments on his likes, but just from what we have seen him do. He likes cricket. He likes teaching. He likes writing. He likes maybe lecturing. He likes classical music. He likes regular meals. I'm just saying based on what one sees him do. I'm not asked him what all he likes. He likes chocolate. He doesn't like Indian sweets so much, except for rasmalai. Okay, so this is his general thing. Now, what does he do with all of this? Every aspect of this is towards his goal. He writes only Vedanta. He teaches only Vedanta. He writes, teaches, he talks only Vedanta. He plays cricket. And cricket is part of the Vedanta Academy cricket team. He is a member of the Vedanta Academy cricket team. And they all go, the team goes all over the place, all over the world, playing matches. And because they play matches and Swamiji is playing cricket, people come and say, oh my God, at this age also he's playing cricket. How come? And then so he gets a chance to explain Vedanta. So his cricket is also towards Vedanta. And he likes classical music, so that's part of the bhajans. He likes chocolate, so whoever wants to meet him and knows him gives him a chocolate. Like everything in his life is just fitting his swadharma.
Understood. Thank you so much.
So is it not spiritual to enjoy life's moments? Hey, what happens when you weren't listening? You were opening doors of your cupboard, so you weren't listening. So is it not spiritual to enjoy life's moments and experiences? It is spiritual to enjoy life's moments and experiences because you know that they are fleeting. When you are with your wife, when you're talking to your wife, you give her 100% of your attention if you understand that it is fleeting. If you're with your child, you give 100% of your attention. You want to do like that. You become a conscious person, a living person when you understand that it is all transient. Is the texture of joy that we derive from a sense object different from the texture of joy we get when we have transcended the desire? There is no such thing as joy from transcended desire. The joy is basically in either the desire is playing or either the desire exists or the desire doesn't exist. To the extent that the desires don't exist, you'll be a generally happy person. Wherever the desire starts playing, you get agitated. So there's no joy of transcended desire. There's joy of no desire, or there's agitation of desire. There is no particular joy of a transcended desire. Basically, that only means that you have a higher desire. Okay, so sorry, Kanika, we can't take your question today. We'll take it next time. Oh, we have an announcement. I think you know, all of you know, right? Where is Meera? Meera, are you here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So big standing ovation for Meera because she's done something incredible, miraculous actually. She has got this website going, vedantawisdom.in. She, along with her faithful team, I think Mahesh, of course, is always there everywhere, and Omkar, who has now even put this on the screen for us. Show us the website, Omkar. She has done something miraculous. She asked me, what can I do? I said, make a website. She said, what am I supposed to do? I said, I have no time to talk to you. Just do whatever you want. And from that, she has created a website. Isn't that amazing? By nagging everybody, by getting on our case, by doing whatever it required to put this website up. So it's amazing how she has done it. She has shown the total spirit of Karma Yoga, all the initiative, because she would receive no instructions also. She just said, put it up. And she doesn't know what to do. She's like, where do I start? What do I put? And somehow she has managed to put up, and everybody seems to be saying good things about the website. So I hope you all have all had a chance. Are you showing us, Omkar? Anything about it?
I can pull it up, yes.
Sorry?
The website.
I can't understand what you're saying, Omkar. Incredible how she's done it. And of course, Mahesh had to put in hours and hours he had to nag me also because somehow he had to get me to at least look at a few things. So between them, how they have all managed to do this is really incredible. I don't think Omkar is able to show it to us. So whatever, look at it on your own.
I am not visible.
What? I can't hear you, Omkar.
No, it's not on the screen, Omkar.
Oh, is it? Okay. Now?
Here it is.
Yes.
Except for this little bit. Let's move this. This is not go down. So she put some things. Isn't it amazing that she actually came up with a website? It's shocking. I never expected it given the fact that we hardly gave her any information. And this whole thing. Okay, so let's just see. I mean, I don't know. You'll know what all we do. Can you show that? Let me just talk about this a bit so that everybody at least knows what we are up to. So, you know, we started a new institute called Vedanta Wisdom Trust. Go down, Omkar. Go down, go down. No, go down. We'll go down this page only. So we started this new trust. We got the ATG, and these are the things we do. We do the weekly sessions, as you know. Then we have special events, which you also know because the retreat and all is coming up, and sometimes talks. Don't run it down. No, I'm showing it from here. Okay, fine. And then we do collaboration with universities and corporate houses. So if you know anyone where we can do collaboration with a university or run a program in a corporate house in any of these businesses, then get in touch with us. And of course, is our big thing, the proposed university. If we can get that going, that would really be something. Okay, so I think this is basically, so now it's an explanation. Go down, Omkar, a bit, please. So here you see the Bhagavad Gita lecture, which you are currently attending, Vedanta treatise, how do you know what you know, and of course the Sanskrit classes. And then we have upcoming events, the outstation retreat, which is there, our short course. I think many of you are doing the online short course. Oops, is that short course? No, that's not short course, that's certificate course. And the celebrity interviews, you know, these additional things are group discussions, karma and all. So, you know, I should pretty much covered everything we do. So great. And so please look at it further. Tell us if you think something needs to be added. We forgot anything. You feel we need to add. You want to do something further with it. Let us know. Only when we all work together, we are going to do something useful around here. Okay, so that's it for today. Hari Om.
Thank you,